sorry. Just saving that intro just made me go to that final. But
That
welcome
last little
back.
bit, that last little bit of that
Yeah,
intro it's just so fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
it really is. I was just like, oh my god. Anyways, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Lions Den podcast, Monday Night Football. Here to talk about everything Club Leon in English. Lots and lots to talk about. As we know, we have a month-long marathon of Leagues Cup, so we're here to talk about definitely what's been going on since it started a couple of days ago and just the chaos around it, as there's so many games. I think there's like 5 games every day and so forth. Today is a rest day, and then they'll continue tomorrow. So we'll definitely talk about any surprises, any matches that we want to go over, and obviously, yes, what happened in the Leon's first Leagues Cup match. We'll definitely get into it. Everybody watching us via YouTube and Periscope on Twitter, hello. Join us in the conversation. Let us know what your thoughts, opinions. If you agree, disagree, feel free to share on the comments, and we'll definitely share them on screen and keep the conversation going. Gentlemen, Carlos, Louis, Javi, how are we feeling Monday today?
Pretty good, pretty good. I've already been to my first 2 Leagues Cup matches, supporting 2 different teams in back-to-back days. Already there for the excitement that is this not new, but obviously heavily restructured tournament. Obviously, we must remember that a tournament by the name of Leagues Cup, our team is the defending champions of, and that we should not go without mentioning that. Obviously, that was not even the same tournament. You can't even really call it the same competition, just because of how much it's been changed and expanded since that fateful night in Las Vegas almost 2 years ago. What we're involved in right now is something completely different. I know it's a controversial competition for many. I know even there are those among this podcast lineup that you are looking at right now who are not even sure this tournament should exist. They're not even sure it should be played. But we're not really. I don't think we should be here to discuss that. And I don't think we should be here to debate that, because the fact of the matter is this tournament is a fact.
Yeah.
This tournament is a fact. It is already being played. We have completed 1 full match day of this tournament, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's getting going. Leon has 1 more match to play in the group stage. They've already put themselves in decent position to move on, given the strange format for obtaining points in this group stage. I've never seen anything like it. The format of this is just very, very strange in general. But Leon, after that insane penalty shootout, probably, if not the longest, one of the longest penalty shootouts ever in any competition in Primera División, for sure, and probably the longest that Leon has ever been a part of. I don't know. I'd have to delve into that more deeply into the history books, but it's got to be one of the longest ever and the longest that Leon has participated in, and it was just something insane to be present for, and I was fortunate to be there in Vancouver for that. And we got 2 points out of it, so it shouldn't be possible to get 2 points in a match ever. That's just not something that should be able to happen, but that's the weird format of Leagues Cup. We got 2 points, leading the group at the moment, setting ourselves up for, if we can somehow get 3 points out of the strange circumstances of having to play LA Galaxy after being stranded at the airport, then we'll win the group automatically. So that's what we're hoping for right now. But yeah, I saw a lot to that game in Vancouver, then I went to the one in Portland, and I'm getting really amped up for this. I know it's kind of it's a silly competition. It doesn't have any history yet. It hasn't generated a ton of I don't know. There's not a lot of weight to it yet, just because it's so new and we don't even really know what it is and how it's going to turn out. And all this stuff. First year of it in this format, but I'm already, after 2 matches, I'm really, really excited about it. And obviously with Leon, this being their only way to qualify for the 2024 CONCACAF Champions League, I'm really hoping for a good performance in this tournament, and really hoping to get even more and more excited about it as we get into the later stages of this month. And so whatever you might think about this tournament, I'm getting excited about it, and I don't know what you guys think about it, but I'm amped up for it.
I was amped up until they started saying that tomorrow's game was going to be postponed, because I'm going to be there tomorrow. So
Yeah.
that sucks.
So that I was going to actually tweet something about that. Like, man, I really do hope for the best of the team. that I do postpone it till Wednesday, but then I put myself in Carlos. I really thought about, what about the people that are going? Like, I would be mad. Like, let's say if I was gonna go and I bought my tickets and I was like on my way. Like, sometimes it just reminds me of that one time me and Louis went to Puebla, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just never cool, man. Just if you say something,
there's people that
just play the
travel here
game,
from
bro.
other
Play the
states,
game. You
too.
go to Puebla, and. Anyway, yeah, I thought about it in that perspective too. But if they do postpone it, I mean, there hasn't been any answer from alguien directo de Leagues Cup. Israel Romo just put on Twitter, and I always like kind of, I think he's in the him and Paco and those guys. Any of the Pacos, they must know something, and they're saying that Wednesday most likely might be postponed.
Just seems like logistically they didn't think of a lot of things. I mean, they're kind of improvising as they go along.
Yeah.
They whenever something comes up that they didn't anticipate, they don't really know what to do. And I'm sure if this is going to become a yearly thing, they'll get better at this, and hopefully CONCACAF will have an entire set of employees that will only focus on the Leagues Cup, because I mean it's a big thing they're trying to do. And these are things that hopefully will not happen in the future. And in this case, I mean, I'm thinking about you too, Carlos. I don't want them to postpone it. I want us to have some representation in the stadium, because sadly,
you ain't going, huh, Louis?
Shocking news. I will not be there. Logistically, I could not make it. I could not make it work. I had to choose either the LA game or the Vancouver game, and having already been to that stadium, having already seen Leon play there a couple of times, I was like, no, I'm gonna go do the Vancouver one. That makes more sense for me. And going to LA is just not going to happen. So we need our boy Carlos to be there and generating content for the accounts. Because if not you, Carlos, who? So I do hope it gets played tomorrow in that sense. Yeah, but in a sporting sense, I mean, we're probably better off playing it on Wednesday. I mean, the team probably has I'm going to say this flatly. The team probably has a better chance to win the game if it's postponed until Wednesday.
Well, they should be well rested, right? The game was on Friday. They had Saturday off, Sunday off. Maybe they trained here and there, but should be well rested. I think the only thing that's physically having a toll on them right now is just sitting at the airport all day.
I think they're still at the airport. I mean, as far as I know, they've been there for over almost 2 days. Let's put it that way. It's a day and a half. So it's crazy.
I mean, some of the players were posting on Instagram from Vancouver yesterday, and I was like, shouldn't they already be in Los Angeles? Or maybe these are just stories they're posting later. But no, they were actually still in Vancouver, and that seemed very, very strange to me.
It would have made more to me. It would have made more sense if they just play that game and got out of there, as soon as possible, man. But apparently it was, like you just
but
get
the
to
thing is, Leagues Cup is the one that organizes everything. They organize everything. They have all the hotels booked. They have all this stuff. But yes, Louis, I am the one that I disagree with a lot of factors of this league, because at the end of the day, no, but we have to bring it up, because at the end of the day, Leons have to catch a flight. And what are the other, for the most part, MLS teams? They fly charter, right? It's like the advantage. They're at home, and all the Liga MX teams are technically away. All of them. Doesn't matter if they're in the Cali game. We'll see what happens, tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on the game. But yes, there's a huge fan base of Leon there, but they're still playing away. They're not playing at home. So obviously, to me, I think there is a disadvantage there for a lot of teams. Liga MX.
There was a player that said it.
But even the skeptic in you, Kari, couldn't have anticipated this situation. This is.
But at the end of the day, Louis, seeing it black or white, all Liga MX teams are playing away. MLS has the advantage. They all have charter flights. They're all in the U.S. Leon has to go back and forth. They have to keep changing hotels, keep changing. Like, it's just they're out of their norm. I'm like, to me, it's like, how is it fair in its totality? How is it fair?
Yeah, you pretty much have to put a pause on your tournament. Your home tournament, and then go play this other tournament, and then go back to where you left off. Basically.
The way they should do it is probably like they should have not even started La Liga. They should just gone. But I think it's because of the Gold Cup. I think it was because of that. So if next year they do it, you're gonna have La Copa America. I'm not sure if that's in June, but if it is, they could start the Leagues Cup in just like they started the first jornada de la Liga MX. And just probably start La Liga in mid-August or something. But I don't know.
I mean, this is this is going to be a constantly evolving thing. Like this is the first year they're trying it out. They're kind of just jumping into it head first, and a lot of stuff is not is not ironed out yet. I mean, ideally, if they want to play the entire thing in the U.S., then every Liga MX club should have like a base camp the way they do it in the World Cup.
Yes.
You know, they should have a place where they between matches they can go, train, sleep comfortably, and not just be traveling and going to different hotels and doing all this stuff and that makes them feel out of sorts
that way,
away from
Liga
home.
MX do have a disadvantage, just in that way, Louis, because put it this way. Right now, Leon is going to play in LA Galaxy's stadium, and I was kind of putting it this way: if Salt Lake City, Real Salt Lake won, so they're in first place. So, I mean, if Monterrey or Seattle, let's say Monterrey gets second place and Leon plays Monterrey, right, in the next round, or like we're gonna see, I think Mazatlán and Bravos play, but they're both Mexican teams, but they're gonna play in Austin, right? That's like their home base for that group. If Leon was to win their group and they were to face Monterrey, where would they go? Would they stay in LA and take Galaxies, or if it was the other way around? Like that's where it gets kind of crazy, you know. Like I think you're right about having like a home base, kind of like if it is gonna be like a World Cup, kind of keep.
The owners signed off on this. The Mexican owners signed off on it, so there must be some prize for them, you know, financial.
Yeah. Well,
there should be. If you qualify to the next round, there should be every round you qualify
for the next round. But then again, I don't know how it is structurally. Like, what about ticket sales? What about like other
percentage
stuff
of
like
your getting of that? Well, isn't that really? I thought that was the whole thing with Messi, right? Him coming into the Liga, and I don't know if it applied for the League's Cup, but I do think
I know. I mean, I believe the Liga MX clubs, despite the fact they're all playing in away stadiums, do get a portion of the ticket sales. If you look closely, like in the schedule, there are some matches where the Liga MX club is listed as the home team, despite playing
like Leon versus Vancouver.
Right, Leon was the home team, so it could be that Leon got the entirety of the ticket sales for that match. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it. That's information we probably will never have access to. I mean, I can talk to a few sources and try to get that information, but I'm relatively confident in saying Leon or the Liga MX clubs in general do get a healthy percentage of the ticket sales, which is why they agree to have it played entirely in the U.S. because they can just charge so much more for tickets in the U.S. than they can in Mexico.
But think about teams like Mazatlán and Bravos, it's like their only opportunity. Because I did think about it in this perspective. I am kind of tired that it's always Los Regios, El America, and sometimes once in a while León and these great playing teams. This could help even out a little bit those equipos que están muy abajo, that they're never ever in their wildest dream are going to catch up. Let's say if they start like giving prizes, if you keep advancing each round, let's say a Mazatlán goes to the next round and they get you know what I mean?
Just a quick aside for Mazatlán. We can talk about the performances of the Liga MX clubs in this tournament so far, but Mazatlán in their first ever competitive match against an MLS team, and look what they did. So that's kind of the fun part. That's like the fun part about this crazy tournament. There's things like that.
And then you get like Miami beating Cruz Azul con un golazo de Messi at the end.
No, but that was scripted. That was scripted.
Scripted or not?
All seen the foul. It is not a foul. It's a great script.
But that's what I'm saying.
Stupid.
You can't script the shot going in, though, Cuddy.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because it's Messi. You have to give him every opportunity.
You're just a Madridista, Cuddy, and you don't like Messi.
No. I'm being honest. Do you guys think it was a foul? No. But obviously, since it's Miami, it's Messi, it's a home opener, it's David Beckham, it's Serena Williams, it's LeBron James. You had to put a show. You had to put on a show. And me, like I've tweeted, I'm Liga MX teams all the way, regardless, all the way. And what they did to Cruz Azul was not fair. That's all I'm saying. Yes, they had the opportunities, but the way that game ended, I do not agree with it.
No, and I think Cruz Azul played good, but that's what you're going to get. You're going to get teams like Miami who's playing horribly. They're not at all doing good at MLS. And they're going to be someone like, again, Cruz Azul is not playing good at all. And Cruz Azul siendo humillado por Messi. You got Pumas siendo Pumas like always. You got Puebla. No manches, Puebla, come on, 0-4 con un hombre menos. And then you got Mazatlán winning. And you got León going to penalties 16-15. And I think even in una Copa MX in 1971 contra Zacatepec, I think they won 20-21 or something like that. So León has some history when it comes to like largas tandas de penales. But I think this is all cool because this is what Leagues Cup is giving us. Like if it wasn't, there's things that can become better. I agree. And look, also, yeah, you're right, Kari. There is something about the Messi aspect. You know, the fact that he came and all of this is happening, and now the fact that out of nowhere they agreed to have equipos mexicanos return to la Copa Libertadores. How they're gonna fix that into how the next calendar next year? Because look,
and I don't think that they're not going to have Liga MX clubs yet return to Libertadores. The news about that was they're going to have like a new version of Supercopa with like the best placing teams in CONCACAF playing against the best placing teams in Libertadores, like in a Supercopa. But it's not not Liga MX teams returning to Libertadores, at least not yet. That could be on the horizon, but not yet.
And the only way it could possibly even happen is if they use this Leagues Cup, because the CONCACAF has now become a Champions Cup, which what it was in the beginning, right? It was like todos contra todos, con un torneo así. How the Champions League used to be back in the 70s and 80s, and it used to be un torneo básicamente octavos de final. It was just like no había grupos. So I think the way they're going to do it is there's going to be a lot of teams now qualifying to this CONCACAF or CONCA Champions new version of it. Think about it. The first, the campeón, the second place of this Leagues Cup, and the third place will qualify. Let's say los tres son mexicanos. You got already 6 teams qualified. That's 9 teams qualifying to this Champions Cup.
Yeah,
you know, and MLS can have the same ones if they get further in this Leagues Cup. So I mean, and that in an aspect is going to make that cup a little more interesting. After that, like you know, the number one first priority after that is going to be el Mundial de Clubes. But that's what I'm saying. Like maybe there is a little way we can put like una copa entre el campeón de la CONCACAF y el de la Libertadores to get un mejor. I was always thinking this since forever, like para ganar un mejor espacio en el Mundial, like el ganador de la Libertadores contra el campeón de la CONCACAF, el ganador has their own spot, like where Manchester City will be. You know what I mean? Like they get to face the el equipo africano, el equipo asiático in that first round, and they get that bye. You know, the CONCACAF team gets that bye, or Libertadores, just like el equipo de Libertadores, el equipo de la Champions League get that bye. Yeah, if they play that game, the winner should just get that bye, and it should just be for that. Other than that, I don't see how they're gonna fit como en un calendario con un Cup, equipos que regresan a Libertadores. And that's people were saying, bring back la Copa MX.
I would rather have Copa MX. And honestly, literally, the thing is Liga MX is depending so much. The federation is depending so much on just going with whatever MLS wants that they know they've screwed up with Libertadores. They know they've screwed up, so this is their compensation. With we can join this. We can join this. It's all with MLS. All with them. To me, it's like, why can't they just go back to what it was? I mean, León is playing this cup. León it is what it is. Yeah, but that's the thing.
Because
it's like they're losing so much. They're losing
but
he's got to make it shorter, I think, the tournament.
Considering what MLS has become over the last decade or so, it's not nearly in the same place that it used to be. It's much more competitive. And it was inevitable. Well, you don't really watch it. I do. That's the big difference here.
So we beat LA. And they're supposed to be the
top tier team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we did. We did beat LA, and that was an amazing accomplishment.
Beat LA,
and they don't have relegation.
That was an amazing accomplishment.
Wasn't relegation
but just the fact that the year before that, Seattle was able to beat any Liga MX team in a final to win the CONCACAF Champions League. Something I'm still upset about, but the fact that was even able to happen talks about the strides that MLS has made in the last 10 years. My point is, while I don't know if this was the best way to do it, and it's going to continue evolving and changing, but it was inevitable. It was inevitable that Liga MX and MLS clubs will start to play each other more. They would find a way to take advantage of that. To take advantage of that geographical of the geographical cercanía, and they would find a way to get those teams to play each other more. It was inevitable, guys. It was inevitable. It was inevitable.
I don't think it's geographical. I think it's all about money.
No.
It's about generating money, and that's really all it is.
I mean, it would generate more money. It would generate more money to bring over Bayern, Arsenal, and like all the biggest clubs in Europe too. But they're not going to do that. It is geographical, Carlos. It is the geography is part of it.
I agree. It's both. I think it's both.
The same way that South America used to invite Mexican teams because Mexican teams brought in all the money in terms of TV views and TV contracts in Libertadores. They used to say, "Oh, los equipos sudamericanos comen porque invitan a México to Libertadores." It's the same thing.
Well, now they know that. CONMEBOL knows now if they was to have Mexican teams come back, there'll be a lot more money than there used to be. And Mexican teams know this, but it's already too late in the way that was. We had there's a moment in time, 2016, 2017, around the time where Iraragorri somehow got all the way to the top and said, "Hey, Televisa, Salinas, look at this," and then got into the contract, and then Telemundo never. When all that was going on was when I think everything shifted. That's when they were like, that's when they left Copa America, Libertadores. That was 2017. I was like, when Tigres went to that last Libertadores. I think one of the biggest problems that it is, first of all, it is going to change because they're going to add more teams, right? There's going to be more MLS teams. Like San Diego FC or whatever they're going to call it. Angel Delgado just said, "Why doesn't Leon get to skip the groups if they're defending champions?"
I'm so annoyed. Yeah,
and I think that's an interesting question. LAFC and Pachuca get a bye; they're in the next round.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. So it's definitely going to change. I don't know because
they need to change something.
Yeah, there's something. I think it should be shorter. I think not all of the teams should qualify. I think it should be a good torneo de temporada. And I think one of the coolest things, if Leon does make it far, obviously I want them to make it far so they can qualify to the Champions Cup de la CONCACAF. But if let's say they win it, and then it's going to be an official international title, maybe there's maybe you can say, well, then count the other one that Leon won, there where you got more international titles, and then you'll have not just 20 but 21 títulos.
See, my thing to feed into to Mexican football: bring back relegation, bring back Copa MX, and bring back Copa Libertadores.
With the relegation, they had mentioned
something
about that, right?
Bring it back.
They're thinking of bringing it back, but I think what they're gonna do first, what they really want to do is que los equipos que tengan la posibilidad de ascender sean acreditados, and I think that's right.
Yeah. But that's been the whole issue, and that's their way of like as an excuse to not bring it back because not enough teams are accredited. And I think Mexico as a whole has so much potential. They have so many states. You look at Argentina, and you're like, why can't Mexico copy the model they have? We're a bigger country. Why can't we do it? Why can't we produce the quality players that we have? I mean, we just don't. There's so many holes, and we're relying on MLS, on these CCL, on this Leagues Cup. We only play against them. I mean, a mí no llama la atención. Did I enjoy watching Leon against Vancouver? No, but I watched it because I'm a Leon fan.
You enjoy that game?
No. I kind of taking the teams out of the equation and the competition out of the equation. If you did not enjoy watching that game of soccer, I don't know what to tell you.
I enjoyed it because of Leon, because I like the players, but not like, oh my God, like I'm so excited for Leon Vancouver. Like no, I'm not.
I'm just talking about the quality of the game that was played.
Pay for that,
it was exciting.
No.
Me either, man.
I was laughing at Carlos. Like, that's how they
get
you. That's how it starts.
That's how they get you. I mean, they go, hey, here's a free month of Apple TV. And then once it's up, you're like, well, how am I going to watch the rest of the tournament? I'm already used to it, so I might as well buy it. Like, no, I don't want to buy it.
I feel like
figure it out myself. And
there's good and bad things. There are things that can be better. Look, I do, again, going back to la Copa MX, that's not a bad idea, man. Pero que es una Copa MX de torneo largo. You know, like you know what I mean? Like not make two a year. Yeah, like how it used to always be. Not
the thing about Copa MX is like back then when it was still around, we used to see second teams like Team B, Team C, Leon play. Like we used to see all the youngsters play. Mm-hmm. Now those kids don't get any chance to play at all. Not even Leagues Cup. Not even.
There's some players that didn't even take this trip for the Leagues Cup. They're interesting players que estaban en el primer equipo, pero también son canteranos.
I would have wished that we kept Saul Zamora, because he was up next.
Yeah.
But now he's gone. He never had a chance to shine with Leon. So
yeah. Look, I think you can have all of these. I think going back to Copa América es lo mejor que puede hacer el fútbol mexicano a nivel nacional.
But why did it take until now? That was my question. Just because they have Messi? That's why?
No, Copa América. That wasn't I think that was different. I think that was just because they're gonna do el centenario, so it's gonna be 16 teams. So they realized have 10 equipos de
Oh yeah,
Sudamérica
and
16.
everything is being played in the U.S., right? That's the thing too.
Well, this our game was played in Canada, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
the Copa America of next year is going to play in the U.S.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and also in 2025, el Mundial de Clubes is also going to be played where? America. Well, there's nothing wrong with it. The World Cup is in 2026, so
they have
in
big
the
investors,
past,
man. They have big investors that have stakes in these teams, and they want to see their teams be in these competitions.
Again, in historical context, it's not the first time. It's not the first time when a World Cup, when a country is host of a World Cup, that they're not the Confederate Cup host, or they don't have Copas de Mundo de Clubes, or una Copa America or stuff like that.
And the World Cup, you're missing the World Cup.
They have Olympics. Brazil had the Summer Olympics, and then they had their World Cup.
Anyway, can we talk about the game?
It's something.
Yeah, let me. Sorry, it gets. Yeah, let me just go through a couple of comments.
Okay, go for it.
A lot of comments. Shout out to Anke Delgado in the chat. The game versus Dallas needs to be postponed. It's ridiculous. Arturo, shout out to Arturo Ruiz. They're probably flying American Airlines. The Leagues Cup should be played like the Europa. If they don't make champions, they should play Leagues Cup.
That's what I was just saying. Not everyone should qualify to that Leagues Cup. It should be shorter. It should be something for other tournaments.
I agree. Arturo Ruiz, Vizcabazo. No, I'm Madridista. Madrid. I love this comment. That's why I was laughing at when I saw it. Messi needs a free kick, and Elias doesn't even need to fake a foul.
Yeah.
Elias greater than me.
Best Elias' goal is one of the things that Carlos, I know, and I've been saying it too, because we look at the stats and we do know that Elias is a player that is sometimes appreciated. Y con esto is like the more we're like, dang, there's people that were saying he was
I've always
up a couple of years ago.
Him.
No, now he has titles. Y tiene este gol, un golazo.
And he's aging like wine now.
I think Louis said it in the last episode. He said during those years when we were at the bottom of the table, it was all Elias Boselli.
Yep.
Like Boselli
there's an era.
Elias Centro.
Yeah, and Boselli spent a lot of that time injured. He was on the shelf for a lot of it. The one constant. Like Elias was a star that was the star of some of those teams. Like he was by hands down the best player on some of those teams. Like he got us through kind of a dark age, that people don't really forget because they remember coming back up from the Ascenso and they remember the Bicampeonato and they remember the era starting from Nacho Ambriz. But there were like 3 or 4 years in there where it was kind of like another dark age for the team where they couldn't even make it. Like people don't think about those years anymore, but those years existed. I was there for most of them.
Juan
and actually, I was there for all of them, attending most of those matches. So I have I have vivid memories of that era of the team, if you can even call it that. And he was one of the bright spots, and he wasn't even that good.
There was a whole great eras of players in every position.
But the point is, Elias was a star of a lot of those teams. He was the best player on some of those teams. And
that Bicampeonato final was I think was something to
and moments like these, Carlos, they only add meat to your hot take that Elias's career could end up being better than Montes's in León.
And look,
that strikes a chord on some people though, because
I know it does, but there are moments like these, and then thinking back to that era where he was a star. Like his story's not quite finished being written yet. I mean, he's having an absolute renaissance this season. Like he
could score 7 more goals, and he could be in the top 10 mejores goleadores de la historia de León. This is an official tournament, so this goal contra Vancouver counts. Leagues Cup counts.
Yeah, like suppose León wins the Leagues Cup and he's named best player of the tournament. I mean, how much does that add to his cred?
What a player, man, and he's very much pieza clave, I think. And when I was hearing rumors of him going to Necaxa and to reducir su salario, hay que hablar de eso. That means he worked something out, or he's probably getting paid less. But they probably say, hey, man, you got these opportunities, these tournaments, something that Davila. I don't know what's the next topic, but the players that are right now going to Russia, and Davila being one of them. It's like ahorita más que nunca is when we need our best pieces to this team.
Arturo Secari on her big L, dropping dimes. I don't understand.
Big
that.
L. Well, it's a rapper. I don't know if you said something.
Oh yeah, Big L, Big L. Big L's a rapper.
A rapper?
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Big L.
R.I.P.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
Dropping
know.
dimes, yeah.
In New York.
Shout out to Todd. At least one of my teams won. Seattle didn't show up, he said.
You go for Real Salt Lake, right? So
there's a couple of Liga MX teams that should be in the second division. Cough, cough, Pumas. Cough, cough, Puebla.
But not Mazatlan. Mazatlan went in there and raked.
Good for Mazatlan, man. I love him, man. I got nothing against him.
Arturo, love Elias, but he ain't better than my super Chapo Saya.
Probably not a better overall player, but when it's all said and done, could he still have had a better career with Leon than Chapo? I think the jury's still out on that.
Yeah.
Also, yes, it's Purple Morelia.
Purple Morelia. I'll put it this way: así como vemos murales de Boselli, del Chapo, you know, Tita, all these players, we're gonna have some of Elias. It's just so hard to compare them because people are gonna be like, well, who was there longer? Who won more championships? Who was more loved? Who's technically better? Man, but they're very much, you know, up there, man. They're very much. It's a good. I'm not offended because le voy a la fiera. You know, like those fueron para la fiera.
Yeah.
You know, who one is better than the other? Let time speak for itself. But Louis is correct in saying that he's still with Leon. His story hasn't ended yet. Y acaba de meter un golazo con Vancouver. Y fue un golazo.
To be continued.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's got to be. I mean, obviously, Messi's goal will officially go down in the rankings as the best of the jornada.
It's Jurado. Jurado has dropped so much his level, unfortunately. So it was pretty upsetting to me.
Right?
All I was going to say is
I've seen it 100 times.
Like in the official Leagues Cup social media, I'm sure they'll rank the best goals of the Jornada Uno of Leagues Cup, and I'm sure Messi's will be number one. But I'd say Elias's was better.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I said.
It's more
for one thing, it wasn't a free kick. It was in the run of play.
Cruz Azuleada a nivel mundial más grande. There's nothing wrong with that. I like that. It's a good thing.
Look, Javi.
Four.
I'm all Cruz Azul. I'm all Mazatlan. I'm all Leon. Any Liga MX team this tournament.
That's true. I agree. But that other part is funny too. It's funny too. People in Arabia saw that. They're like, what is Cruz Azul being losing in the last minute? Is that a thing? So they're reading the Cruz Azuleada comments somewhere.
Pobres. Carlos, what else do you want to share about the Leon game? Anything else? Anything to point out during that Leon game?
I mean, the penalties, right? Those penalties put me to sleep. I was like, come on, just somebody miss already.
That's how I was.
Louis, what were you doing in the stands watching all those penalties?
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about you, Louis.
I mean, you were
texting us, bro. You were like, this is unnecessary or something like that. You're like, good God.
Well, okay. My one complaint about the Leagues Cup so far is the unnecessary drama that they're definitely trying to forge to foment with every draw ending in penalties, and like with having the 3, 2, and 1 point system available in every match. Like, it's trying to create unnecessary drama. Like, and that's, I mean, these penalties were the prime example of that. Like, obviously they're not thinking that most penalty shootouts are going to go 38 rounds, which frankly they probably aren't going to.
No.
Sorry, 19 rounds, 38 kicks is what it ended up being, with including the misses when all was said and done. It's funny. You start to realize things when you see a penalty shootout goes along, and especially live, because you're looking at the players and like, okay, Cota is not great at saving penalties to begin with, but like after attempting to save 20 of them, like he just doesn't have anything left. He can't even. There's nothing left in those legs anymore. He can't even jump. Like neither of those two goalkeepers, neither Cota nor Takaoka, like. Nobody was going to, there were going to be no more save PKs. The only way somebody was going to win was when someone hit the post, which is what ended up happening, obviously.
It was like, man, you win, bro. No, you take the point, bro. No, you take
either volarla or hit the post. That one of those things was going to happen because neither of those dudes was saving anything after a while. They just didn't, you just don't think about that. But like, that's how it was. It was,
I was gonna.
I mean, I never.
Carlos, we play on turf. Yeah, we play on turf.
I never lost the intensity. I was watching it intently from beginning to end. You know, it was just like it was. You know, this is so silly. This is crazy, and like, this isn't even for getting eliminated or advancing. This is just for one extra point in the standings.
Extra point, man, it can mean a lot.
Well,
look, I thought
you're right.
Hilarious.
One extra point can mean a lot. Well, given the format of this tournament, one extra point could end up being the difference between moving on and not. But thinking about it at the time, like, they could lose this, and then if they beat Galaxy, they still have a pretty good chance of moving on.
You know? It was pretty funny, man, because I don't know where Carlos and Kari, si lo vieron por TV Azteca o qué transmisión. I saw it for TV Azteca. It was hilarious because at the end it was just like they were saying, I think the guy que falló se llamaba Luis, and Luis Garcia was there, and they're like, se tenía que llamar Luis, and they were just laughing, and it was just like a good time. Like at some point, they were like, some guys were saying like, come on, man, le van a cobrar mucho la luz, and like they just get out of here, alguien que ya falla, and they're just making all these jokes, and I just thought it was like, okay, ha ha ha, but I go for this team, bro. It's not that funny. And I was just kind of like, this is ridiculous. And then I did see a tweet, and I did remember like, hey, they're getting close to like the record. So I was kind of like, well, let's see how far they could go at some point. Like, come on, keep on missing, baby. And that's why it was funny because they did. I'm like, come on, I'm not missing, but los porteros, they kept no tiraban nada.
I think Gota to me had an off night, so I was really nervous for the penalties.
Yeah, and so he looked like he wasn't even trying. So that's a thing. I think Larcamón now knows. Like, whatever we do, a strategy should not go to penalty shootout. It's try to, para nada ir a penales. Because I don't. I mean, I think we have good tiradores, but I don't think
there was an improvement on the penalties. Like every person that took penalties, for the most part, they improved. Just and the ones that missed the first time,
that's what I was going to say. And I think you even said this in the chat. You even said this in the chat, Carlos. At least it's good penalty practice, you know, because and
you never know when you might need it.
They finished that shootout making 11 straight penalties, and the best part was that since they had to do so many rounds, guys got to take more than one. And so guys who had missed them the first time got their redemption. They got a chance to do it again, like Borja and Elias. Like they got to go again and make their second try. I mean, I think that's going to be valuable going forward because I'm going to be daring and I'm going to say that that was not the last penalty shootout that they will be a part of in this tournament.
You think Alfonso Blanco is a better cobrador? Like I believe just switch, man. If you go to a penalty shootout, I just switch the porteros. I believe
he would have stopped.
More. Still, though, I don't think you bring in a cold goalkeeper to do a PK shootout.
Unless that's just
like even if
unless it's your specialty. It's happened in many World Cups where that's your specialty,
right?
Well, it's happened where like they've had to sub on a goalkeeper for injury. It happened in MLS Cup actually, the most recent one, the LAFC beat Philly. They had to sub in their goalkeeper due to injury towards the end of extra time, and then the backup goalkeeper, having played only a few minutes, had to do the PK shootout, and he ended up winning it. And there have been a few instances of that happening. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would be something they should do, but they probably. I just don't imagine something like that would ever happen.
Well, then that's better atajar.
So Arturo's brought up a point because I was gonna say, he's like, I thought Lucas Romero, his shots were pretty good. I was surprised. I was nervous and surprised with Avion, Osvi, both of them. I was
Osvi had one of his worst games. Had one of his worst games in the Leon jersey, and that really is saying something.
Yeah. I thought the same. I was like, oh my God, if you miss this, I was like so ready to like throw F-bombs. Like, but hey, kudos. He got 2 out of 2. Avion made me nervous because I was like, oh my God, Avion, like, how is he? Like, is he okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's cool, man. Yeah,
the official Ljubljana account tweeted, we'll see you guys tomorrow. So, game's not going to be postponed.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, we'll see you guys
Carlos.
tomorrow. They posted the poster and everything. So,
this is one of those weird instances where, yes, I mean the fairer thing to do would probably to postpone it till Wednesday, but this is one of those instances where they're just going to band together and they're just going to go out there and win anyway, despite all the adversity. Like maybe this is one of those weird things that will happen. Like maybe more so than if they postponed it.
Yeah, it's regardless. Let's say they win and they go. I think which is going to happen, and they make it to the next round. The best case scenario is that they get like 8 days resting for the next partidos because it will be like August 2nd or 3rd. cuando empiece
Look,
la
all I'm
segunda
saying
ronda.
is that because it's León, but if it was America or Chivas having these type of problems, it
Yeah,
would
la
be a different
Federación Mexicana. Well,
conversation.
Azcárraga would have just pick up that phone and be like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm the mero," and then
I'm sending a
we can't.
plane.
We're
Get on it.
Well, somos los incómodos. I bet you Jesus Martinez Patiño had nothing to do with this League's Cup creation. I think it's
He was
all
probably against it.
Yeah, I think it's all Iraragorri, it's all Azcárraga, and it's all Salinas.
I was
We're still gonna win it
laughing
though. Leon is still gonna win it though. Doesn't matter.
David's
Make your
comment said
copas.
Barreiro made me myself for a
The
second. I thought he
turf,
was
man.
done.
Someone said it right. I hate turf.
Yeah.
And the way he went down, it looked like
Oh,
a
yeah,
turf
you
injury.
Lions then.
It looked like an injury brought on by the turf. I'll say that turf is a lot higher quality than the turf in Tijuana, though.
Ooh.
You know what's funny is like we haven't seen like Paul Belon get any minutes lately.
No.
And
where was Platano? Where was Platano?
No idea.
I didn't notice. Was there? Yeah, he wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah, no estaba ni en la banca.
No, because I was like, is he going to score a penalty? And then I was like nervous. Like, who's going to be the lineup? Who's going to be the five with all the subs they made?
I wonder
why didn't Viñas play? I mean, are they saving him for Galaxy? I mean,
he was still tired, till fatigue, legs, so they're gonna just keep him.
But still, I mean, Borja Sanchez played like 15-20 minutes, and I thought he looked great. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, I want to see more of him too.
Yeah, me too.
Arturo said, my boy Avion looking like Kiko. We had mentioned in a podcast that he did seem a bit heavier. On Friday, he looked a bit slimmer than the other time. So we'll see what happens.
Because of cachetes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's just his cachetes, man. Like, no matter how skinny he gets.
No, but we still had mentioned like he looked a bit heavier when he made the comeback.
Yeah.
So I did see him a bit slimmer. But then I am surprised with the players that are a bit more like on the thick side, but they still like they maintain their cardio and they maintain their intensity at that body weight, which I'm very surprised. Borja Sanchez looked good, but he looked like he woke up 30 minutes before the game. Leave that man's hair alone. Leave it alone. He'll figure it out how to style it.
That dude's tall. He's like 6'7".
He's tall.
Yeah, he's
what really?
Is he?
Yeah, he's
tall, dude.
6'7"?
I don't know about 6'7", but he's pretty tall. He's pretty tall.
Yeah. That's
taller than LeBron.
No, he's like 6'4", maybe 6'3".
Dude, LeBron's like 6'7" or something.
What's 186 meters?
That's like 6'3".
Yeah, okay,
6'2", 6'3".
Yeah. That's
6'2", 6'3". Yeah.
Yeah, bro. 6'7" is like Undertaker or something like that.
86. It says 6.102362.
Okay, 6'1" then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably just looks tall because we have so many short players.
He said 6'7". I'm like, oh, then I'm tripping. That's how
Me too. I was like, what?
I didn't think he was. Guys, come on.
I just thought it was hilarious.
Me too. I was like, wait.
What?
But you're right. No, for the position that he plays, you'd expect him to be shorter, though. That is true.
Yeah, for sure. You can't be no 6'7" playing that because you better be a portero or something. Or like Peter Crouch.
Last thing before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a meet and greet with the players on Friday in Southgate, LA. For anyone that's interested, go on the Charlie Twitter or Charlie website. They have it up there. I think it's like 5:30 maybe. I can't remember. But you're going to have Omar Fernandez. You're going to have Osby. You're going to have Viñas. And I can't remember the other player. But meet and greet at the Charlie store.
Did you say Jefecito already?
Is Jefecito there?
Jefecito. I saw him in the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be there, Louis? You're going on that
No.
Day? You're staying up in Portland to see who Leo might face in the second round?
I am staying up in Portland to see who Leon could potentially face in the second round. Yes.
That's a good Louis idea. Yeah.
Good Louis idea. Kariwari hate MLS. Arturo said, I dislike it very much for many reasons. This comment, Arturo said, Diaz probably should wear that 10.
No.
Stop. I know. No, Bryce, I'm
How
sure
did
maybe
Diaz Price
you're a
make
nice guy in
the
person.
trip?
I just don't like you and I don't know you. I'm sorry.
He's got a very good agent, and there's nothing against him. I'm just saying that the more I look at stuff like, all right, this is why everything is kind of making me mad. And I don't know, vamos a hablar de Davila o lo de,
Yeah, we
all
will.
these things are making me mad because I think the most important thing that Leon's ever going to play is un Mundial de Clubes. So you got to take this kind of serious. So you want to have it's like when you make stand-up comedy, you go do this bit and you want to slim it down to like, if it's a minute, you want to make it to like 30 killer seconds. So that's how I see a squad. You can't have Diaz Price. Like someone else you can have someone else in that position. And I think you have to have the best of the best in your squad if you're going to play un torneo como el Mundial de Clubes. And I these decisions that they're making,
Los Martinez they're clearly doing some agent a favor by keeping him on the roster.
Right.
Yeah. Let's not go into those.
Happens all the time. So should we get to the other elephant in the room, the Davila thing?
So, any Liga MX fan that has been following Liga MX, if you guys know, obviously it was the first part because obviously Grupo Pachuca, so we have to talk about this first before we get to Davila, which was Luis Chavez, Pachuca player, leaving to Russia. Obviously there was talks about that potentially not following through because obviously we know Russia and the situation that they're in. Meaning nobody wants to do anything with them, meaning the banks included, which would mean how is Moscow going to pay for Luis Chavez through a bank? Obviously, there was that component. Obviously, there's a component of Rayados wanting Luis Chavez. They're willing to pay double the cláusula, which the cláusula is $7 million. Luis Chavez, as a player that wants to go play outside of Mexico, clearly ended up Grupo Pachuca came out the statement saying Luis Chavez pagó su cláusula de rescisión. He's free to do whatever he wants, and no responsibility falls on us. So Luis Chavez set to Russia. And obviously there was a rumor of Victor Davila, which to me I thought, oh, that's funny. Like I didn't really think much of it until it started growing. Obviously after the Luis Chavez situation, comes out with, well, Davila is going to pay his own cláusula de rescisión for $12 million.
$12 million.
Yeah, which now we're getting conflicting reports on that. Now I'm seeing reports that no, the Russian club is going to pay that.
Yes, they just that's the like low key thing. So obviously they're not going to say they're still going to pay because obviously that's going to raise flags, right? The player is paying for this, and how the club pays back the player back. Yeah. That's none of our business, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. But
all that should matter is that we have $12 million coming in from this sale to use on further roster building.
But is it 12 or is it 5? Because I've seen conflicting reports.
I saw 12.
I did see 12.
So 12 million pesos or $5 million or $12 million or because I think I did read that.
Whichever's higher.
I think what I read. So analistas, I've seen some people put that que Davila pagó su cláusula de $12 millones. I've seen that. I've seen that the cláusula is actually $5 million, 12 millones de pesos. I don't know which one is true. I don't know si la cláusula de Davila is $5 million and then Moscow wanted to pay 12 million. I don't know if that's what it was. And then Davila said, well, let me pay my cláusula and then my salary is going to be way bigger than what Leon pays him. I think that's what he was going for. I think he wants to get a way bigger because to pay $12 million as a player is crazy.
Was Luis Chavez the first domino of this domino effect?
Yeah.
Of players that might start buying themselves out?
Yeah. I mean,
it is setting an interesting precedent for sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It is. I mean, there was the same situation with Cesar Montes wanting to go to Russia, and obviously ended up going to Spain. The same thing with the banks. So that's why people are like, well, you know, what's going on now that now Luis Chavez is able to do that. And then obviously, sets now for Davila to do the same thing. Obviously, it's very much questioned because, like we've said in our chat, no Champions League, no Europa League, no any other tournaments, just the Russian Premier League. And that's it. And we don't know what's the dead end of that, whether they'll be able to go to another club or not. If they want to go anywhere else, are they going to be interested? Are they not? It kind of just sets up for like unknown future for them. I mean, with what Louis said, we'll be banking and, we'll be checking in cash But we do question like his move, motives, now leaving the team. Like David on the chat had question. So with Avila out, can Leon still buy someone for Liga MX even though Liga MX window's closed? We can only buy from other leagues, right? Question. No sé.
I don't think it. I think internally the transfer window is closed.
Internally, yes.
Yeah, but you can still buy externally up until I'm not sure.
But
maybe end of the month, maybe.
So another thing is that I'm very mad about this because all right, look, regardless if it's what it is, like if Davila bought his own cláusula de rescisión or if Moscow, because I'm seeing both too. I see que now el equipo de Moscow is going to be the one paying for la cláusula, the transfer, everything, whatever. It's going to be like a typical, but the whole thing you guys are talking about it, there can't be any negociaciones con equipos de because that was what Martinez had said in the interview, right? That they didn't want to be a part of, they didn't want to get involved in that. So we have Chavez doing it first. Now we got Davila. Yeah, the thing about it, all of that is kind of like if he goes over there and you get the money, is it going to be reinvested right away into players? We all think it should 1,100%, and we want it to be true. But I got people telling me that it's probably not going to go into any player, and that would be like really ridiculous because it really shouldn't. I think Larcamón will be really mad. But I guess someone saying he goes for Pachuca. He replied to one of my tweets that was talking about saying that le han vendido mucho el Pachuca y todo se va al Oviedo. And I don't know if he was saying it like if it's true or not. I think we're gonna get un refuerzo. But I don't think all that money, all those $12 million, is gonna go to un refuerzo para esta campaña. I really hope we can get like really. I think what they're gonna do is, I think if they're gonna stick with Colombato. I think they haven't done anything with him still. I think he's gonna reemplazar esa posición de extranjero, and I think I don't know who they're gonna bring. Like I think that's something I think that's what they're most likely gonna do. And if I'm not sure about si puede haber todavía contrataciones entre la Liga Mexicana. I'm not sure when that ends. If it already ended, then like who are they gonna bring that's Mexicano from the outside? It would have to be an extranjero bomba. So that's what I'm only hoping, que traigan un extranjero bomba que valga mucho dinero, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to probably just stick with Colombato and that's it, which is going to make me mad.
Yeah.
I really hope I'm wrong.
Well, then the whole thing with Colombato. Go on, Carlos.
The fact that Colombato, it's like a double-edged sword because yes, we want him to stay because he's a quality player, but he doesn't fit in because he's not a direct replacement for Davila. He's a player that plays in a position that's already
got it pretty
stacked. Yeah,
I agree.
So yes, you want him on your team because he's a quality player, but we're still missing a number 10 or
we need that's Davila. Exactly, Carlos. We need whatever it is. He fue el
Who's the guy that left Rayados?
Who's the guy that what?
That left Rayados?
Okay. Canales went to Rayados.
No. It probably wasn't even Rayados. It was some other guy that was rumored.
To go where?
I think he left Rayados or something.
Well, I see. Hay un jugador como colombiano por Monterrey.
Yeah.
That they have una plaza más, so that they're like offering him up.
The replacement or the guy they let go to bring in Canales.
Yeah, that guy.
It was Celso Ortiz, no? I think it was Celso Ortiz.
No. Not Celso Ortiz. It was
Arturo Rodrigo Aguirre.
Rodrigo Aguirre.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Aguirre.
So there's people mentioning him on Twitter all over the place. So I don't know much about him.
But that's what I'm saying. So him being un jugador que juega en la Liga MX, that means that the transfer window for los jugadores que juegan en la Liga MX hasn't ended. I'm not sure when it does end, but if it hasn't ended yet, then maybe you can get like a really good, como I've heard, obviamente el de siempre, no Poncho González, like how much he costs or whatever. But if you're gonna do the whole Colombato thing, and which you're right, I think that position is very much packed. Then bring someone like that, un jugador mexicano. But if not, then you're right. Traigan un jugador bomba, un 10, un jugador que más ahorita necesita León, que es esa posesión en el ataque.
Definitely.
We've never brought in a bomba though, so like
I know.
It's not gonna happen.
I don't know if it'll happen.
But they're playing
We know one guy on
Mundial de
Twitter.
Clubes. Someone's got to be telling Martinez, like, bro, what's wrong with you, man? We're playing Mundial de Clubes. Like, are you kidding me? This has to be like, ¿quieren tener un mundial digno o quieren ser ese como Monterrey que fue después de que Tigres llegó a una final con Liverpool? And then Monterrey's like, we're gonna show the world, and they lost in the first round. So like, we don't look. It can happen to Leon if we don't do something. Because like, I don't know.
And it's just like, you know, right now.
I just don't want it to be like the money going to
on.
Oviedo. You know, because I know having Oviedo, I know it's expensive. That's what I don't want this to become.
Yeah, I hope not.
That's first priority.
I mean, we'll definitely see in the next upcoming days what the Santiago Colombato situation is. There was an account that said that he will stay, that he will be the number 9 extranjero for Club León. He just completed 3 weeks of pretemporada at the Esmeralda, so he's just, you know, getting himself back into the rhythm. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And yeah, definitely what Javi's saying. I mean, 12 mil, but where is it going to go to? Are we going to spend on a player? Are we not? Where? I mean, that's just up in the air at this point. And it just sucks because obviously, you know, then Liga interrupted and everything's all over the place. So depending if Leon goes farther in this cup or if they come back, and then I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
what happens.
And the Davila thing, is he going to leave right now, or is he with Leon going to play against Galaxy, or is he out? Like, that's another thing which I don't get.
Well, the thing is, they haven't even made it official.
I know.
So, everything we know is about the reporters, which are credible reporters. Like, they've put out actual information that became true. But it's been 2 or 3 weeks that we've been hearing this, and it's just like, no, never mind. It's false news. It's not going to happen. And then suddenly, like, a big bomb, like, no, he's really leaving now.
Yeah. Well, Louis said he talked to Paco Vela, and he said it's very unlikely for him to leave, which I thought so too.
Oh, that was before the news came out that he would pay his own buyout clause.
Yeah, and then that came out, and it's kind of like, well, maybe it's not that impossible. The other thing is, and it got me even more mad, guys, when they were saying that Monterrey is trying to get Ivan Moreno. They didn't say who. They said un lateral titular derecho.
No.
Yeah, that would be the last straw. That would be like, get out of here with that. Yeah, but there's our reports that they're eyeballing.
I will riot.
Not going to happen. He already has a Leon tattoo.
Right? But still, like, the whole point is that Leo needs to understand. Yes, these offers are incredibly, incredibly interesting, and maybe once in a lifetime. But do that after Mundial de Clubes. Heck, they have a better Mundial de Clubes. Imagine control Manchester City. Un gran partido de Ivan Moreno is going to cost even more. Screw Monterrey. Sell them to Europe. But no, I guess, you know, the same thing with Davila. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, Moscow, and I don't know what the salary is, but you could probably get to.
I bet you he's not even going there. I bet you he's not even going to Russia. He just bought his own buyout clause to freely negotiate with any European team because he has.
I'm telling you, man, I've been hearing
deals somewhere else.
But it's
he bought it himself, and then Moscow.
Like with the comment, like David said, I would like to know where these players are getting the money from because they don't make enough to make that type of money. Which is why it's the por debajo del agua type of situation, Mexican slang.
I don't want no money laundering kind of comments about Leon and Davila, but you know, it is.
Then David said Leon has money. They sold Canela and Davila, but they'll bring a random from South America, hoping it turns out. See, and the only ones that have turned out good, which is Adonis and Lucas. So.
Well,
no,
right? But
that's not true at all.
What do you mean?
Adonis and Lucas are the only ones ever that nobody knew about coming out of South America that have been good.
I'm talking about
what this dude's talking about. Yeah, what this dude's talking about is a tendency that goes back way longer than last year.
Like Rio,
and a lot of them have turned out good. A lot of them have turned out good, even if we didn't know who they were before they got here. So I mean, you got to trust these guys. Their eye for so they don't always get it right, but they get it right a lot.
Well, just
give me like someone good, bro. Give me like a Di Maria or something.
Nah, we don't want old players.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, did you see that? Obviously, In Miami's security Niesta, and now they want to go after Luis Suarez, and what? Or what are you going to tell me? This is all legit? No,
Busquets
they
looks
make
good
up
though. Hey,
stuff
Busquets
as they
played
go.
good though. I
Yeah.
No.
I don't even like Busquets. I don't even like Busquets. I don't even like that guy. You know, the kind of name is, you know, like for Barca, like. But
I'm
look,
sorry, I'm just very
played
anti.
pretty well. I like how he
Anti
played, brought
MLS.
something to that team. Oh, look, at the end of the day, you kind of have to see it como Jesus Martinez Patiño once said, todos para mí es como if everything was like your negocio, an industry. So, like, again, it's just for the better of Leon. Leon just got to look out for what's better and what's going to make the most money. And
whatever happens, whatever happens, if Davila leaves or not, if he does leave, we need a massive signing, like in the next week.
That's what I'm saying.
Or two. Like, we need a massive signing because that's a huge blow. That's a huge blow to the roster.
It's a huge blow. Yeah.
I love Burdizo. Burdizo's one. I met him twice. He was cool, man. There's some players that you kind of decided to leave.
Quickly to go over the match day one, Cruzul. Obviously, we talked about lost to Inter 2-1. Orlando and Houston went to penalties. Orlando City won in penalties 5-4. Obviously, we talked about the Austin and Mazatlan. Mazatlan representing. They won 3-1. I was watching some interviews for Austin fans, and they were really, really mad.
I gotta send them to me. I love them.
I will.
Mazatlan.
No, yeah,
that's
you're gonna laugh,
team, bro.
I'll send you that TikTok that I found. FC Dallas losing in penalties to Charlotte, whatever.
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Just say it in Spanish.
Carlote. Obviously the crazy penalty madness. Leon and Vancouver 16-15. Pumas losing in penalties 4-2.
Pumas.
New York Red Bulls beating New England 4-2 in penalties. Tijuana getting players sent off, losing to Philadelphia 3-1. Piojos always get mad, yeah.
So el arbitraje, he's always, every time you go to YouTube, Piojo habla del arbitraje. I'm like, dang, Piojo.
All the time. Real Salt Lake winning 3-0 to Seattle Sounders. Portland winning 2-0.
Louis all happy.
It was a good game, man. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with Leon, but just as a quick aside, like for teams like the Timbers that are not doing well in MLS play at all, this is like a rebirth. This is like a completely new opportunity.
You had like a tear.
Like MLS clubs are looking at this completely differently, just because you know their season is so far underway that some teams are like completely out of the running, and they get a new lease on life. So I'm looking forward to that for the Timbers. Not quite that way for Liga MX clubs. We're just getting our season started.
Atlas winning 1-0 versus New York. Cincinnati.
Come on, and we didn't even talk about the Atlas.
Oh yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Yeah,
but this is the beauty of League's Cup. It would have never happened.
No, it's
if this game didn't happen
at its finest.
No, this is the best part of all of this. Like Ratlas talking about how they're not being Ratlas, but then being all Nazi about it. Like what? And it was just, for me, it was just hilarious all day.
It was a train wreck. Nashville 2-1 to Colorado. Puebla doing a Puebla 4-0 to Minnesota, losing, and Columbus Crew beating St. Louis 2-1. So tomorrow we start off with Miami, Atlanta United, Santos, and Dynamo. Mazatlan Juárez. That's the game I'm watching, guys. Classic Viernes
Clásico de los petardos. No.
Wait, what's be able to watch that game? I'll be at the game.
What time are you getting there?
I mean, you want to watch the Mazatlan Bravos? Because traffic is really bad going there. So I don't know. I'm trying to get there as early as I can, but let's see. Let's see what happens.
But yeah, lots of games tomorrow. 1, 2,
Mazatlan Bravos is going to be played in Austin.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys know who's going to be at tomorrow's game too? Take a wild guess. Nope. Take a wild guess.
That was
like a singer, actor.
No. He's a legend. He's a Lions podcast legend.
A what?
Marcelo Balboa.
Jose.
Oh, yeah. Legend. Yeah.
My boy Jose is going to be there. He's going to be sitting in the same section as I am, so I'll try to get a picture with him.
When you said all your representation, I was going to ask you, like, I think Jose is going now that I was talking to him.
Yeah.
Not that long ago.
So we would have had at least one representante if it was postponed, Louis.
What if he didn't want to go? Like, it's Wednesday. I don't want to. Because I'm too legendary for that stuff. Can't be postponing on me, man. I'm Jose. And then
For real.
I can see Jose like Jose and Carlos like getting in a fight. And like getting down for Leon.
Anything
and then
else?
Louis comes out of nowhere. You thought I wasn't coming?
I'm just trying to see if there's any updates of Leon on my Twitter right now.
That's pretty much it, because there was a talk about the airport. They're not there. Now it's not postponed because of what Carlos said, that I'll see you tomorrow, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I don't see any updates, so I guess we'll see if they got on a plane or they did not. Well, just Paco Vela said, actualización, this is 50 minutes ago, so nearly when we started the pod. Hora tentativa, 8:30 p.m. Se analiza la reprogramación del partido de LAFC por la segunda fecha de Leagues Cup. So
Galaxy.
Interesting.
We'll see. Yeah, I think the latest you could probably have it. You know, I wouldn't want them to play it on Wednesday because I'm gonna go see the Padres on Wednesday, so at night. So I want to watch the game. I want to be at the stadium. Like,
let's cross fingers. That way, Carlos can go and save his tickets, save his seats.
Him and Jose can have a moment where you're chugging beers, you know, having a good time.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Jose would chug like 20.
Anything before we go?
That was it. Pretty much all the things we need to kind of cover. I know people on the chat.
We'll see if there's an update tomorrow as well with the whole Davila.
We talked about all the possible rumors. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. I just I've seen a lot of people giving Davila a hard time about this, and look, a player that no longer wants to be here is no longer an asset to the team. That's just you have to remember that. If he doesn't want to be here, he doesn't want to be part of this process, then you have to let him go. But that doesn't mean you have to ignore everything he accomplished for the club. I mean, saying like,
I've
he's
seen
not even that good. Saying he's not even that good. What did he ever do for us? I'll tell you what he did. He was the MVP of our one and only Conca champions, and he was hands down the MVP of that entire tournament.
And he so in the time that he was with Leon, he scored a bunch of goals, and tiene su huella en el equipo. I think there's nothing wrong with him wanting to.
I know. We're this is an upsetting turn of events that he is leaving, but the issue is not that he's leaving. The issue is that he's leaving when the team is kind of hamstrung and bringing in his replacement. That's really the only issue.
You know who I liked a lot? Sorry, Louis.
No, I was gonna say, let's not be short-sighted. Let's be smart fans.
Yeah.
None
of us here are going to
be. No, of course. But if you check, the team fan pages and news outlets and things like that, you see a lot of comments from a lot of short-sighted.
The most replaceable 10.
A lot of short-sighted, ignorant fans who are just saying things that absolutely aren't true because they're frustrated, and I get that. But no, let's just be sensible. We haven't been the most sensible fan base lately. So anybody listening to this who has an opportunity to be sensible, for when you have a chance to be sensible instead of irrational, choose sensibility. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm going to say. We have an opportunity to be sensible. Be sensible. Arturo, same thing. Same thing. No player above the institution. No player above the institution.
That's how it feels, man.
And Davila doesn't mean. Davila does not mean nearly.
Look at Louis. Say it, Louis.
Davila doesn't mean nearly as much to Leon as Lillard did to the Blazers.
Not even close, man.
Yeah, not even close.
Dude, I agree. Just come on, man. Just sad Louis. He's not that sad. Because Louis understands, it's for the best. You're gonna have someone that doesn't want to be there. I agree. Martinez Murguia, our president, said it in that tweet.
And honestly, he's kind of started playing this season like he doesn't want to be there anymore. A lot of individualismo, not making the best decisions. He was great in CCL, but clearly he wants to move on to a different thing in his career. So you got to let him do it. I mean, he's not doing anybody he's not contributing anything. By being here if he doesn't want to be.
You better do that, Arturo Ruiz.
Yeah.
You know who I like from that game against Vancouver? Because even Narcamón went up to him like, hey, man, good game. La Pantera Córdoba. El Venezolano who scored against us.
Scored, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he scored a brace.
Yeah, and you know, it's a good position that we need him. I think he's in killer. He looked great. And I did see Larcamon go up to him like, hey man, if ever you wanna, be una pantera leonesa, come over. But it is something that's concerning because Davila is una pieza fundamental. Whether he was trying his best or not, he's not irreplaceable. Like he's replaceable. Come on, like especially for $12 million. Like when I saw it, I'm like, look, no one in Leon is unreplaceable for like they're all replaceable for $12 million. If you invest it correctly, that's it. If it's not begin to be invested correctly, then this is really me kind of just mad, right? Like there's nothing you can do about it because it's not my team, and I understand that at the end of the day, este grupo y los Martinez, they've said it themselves, no hay dinero, no hay mucho dinero, todo lo que han gastado en la fuerza básica de lo que es la Esmeralda, lo que es probably el Oviedo, what's causing them to have un equipo en la segunda, like all of this kind of just makes me like just in my mind say, I am all for this. It's kind of Everton they're the worst. Like when it comes to this, I have some people that I follow que le van a Everton, and they say, man, we get the worst of the worst of Pachuca and Leon. And that's what I don't want Leon to be like everything. All the focus goes to Oviedo, all the money goes over there, and that's probably the only thing that it's cool that we're gonna sell Davila, but it's only cool if you reinvest it right away in players and somebody that's gonna fit strategically el esquema del Arcamón, not just quedarte con Colombato, because I think we all just said that I love Colombato, but I think that we lost two attacking players, offensive kind of players, Angulo and Davila.
But if the only option, if the option is not bringing anybody or stay with Colombato, I prefer sticking with Colombato, even though his position is not what we most need on the team right now. But I mean, I'd rather have him than not have anybody.
Yeah, because also the other thing we can never count out too, it could be Platanito's time to shine. Maybe it's his time to shine, and maybe you're right. There's so many options, but still, it would be that still sounds like a cheapskate kind of like Leon thing to do. Like okay, 12 million, but you would think with those 12 million, it's to have a way better possibility to bring someone como una bomba. But I think we all kind of feel like it's not going to happen, huh? Like the more I feel the vibe of the Twitter Leon community. No one is like thinking they're gonna bring una bomba. Like the kind of player that we kind of want.
Yeah, Leon's not noted for big bombas. I mean, I have nothing against Davila. I appreciate that the player that he has been for Leon, and I think I agree with Louis. Just the timing, I think it's just off. I would have preferred for him to stay right now during Leagues Cup, play the Mundial, and after leave. But hey, it's what he wants. Let him be. I think it's just like I've said, just affecting where you're going because it's Russia. It's not like, oh, he's going to a
I
team
wonder if
in
they bring back
Spain
Chapo.
or
I don't think so.
Or Gullit Peña from Arash.
Okay,
Really
Soy
probably have a better
Fiera.
chance going to Saudi Arabia.
I'm thinking about all the Mexican players that could come to.
Okay, Soy Fiera. Why don't you put out like 5 more articles in a day about Boselli too?
I mean, I just suggested Gullit or Chapo. I'm thinking about the possibility of the players that could come back that are Mexican players that are outside. Because that's the thing that I don't understand. You guys pretty much said that there's no puede haber transacciones de los equipos mexicanos. So we're gonna have the Colombato.
Right.
Yeah. So I hope that's not true. But if we do keep Colombato, I'm like, well, just bring whoever you can at this point. That's afuera that could benefit. But yeah, I don't know who would want to come at the situation like this, like last minute. I don't like these last minute signings. I just feel like I hate them. I feel like you have to have.
They're not planned out well. Yeah, they're not well planned out or anything. It's kind of a, I think. Yeah, I mean, if we keep talking about that, at least we know him as a player versus having the pressure to buy someone that we really don't know much, and then se queda estancado. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think we run a bit long, so we're going to definitely let you guys go. Shout out to everybody that stopped by in the chat, to Ángel Delgado, Arturo Ruiz, Todd, and who am I missing? David. Thank you for keeping the conversation going, making us laugh, and providing us very good comments. We definitely appreciate it. Keeps us keeps us just in tune with each other, all the Leon fans. So thank you guys for watching us. Don't forget to watch the game tomorrow. Crossing fingers. If not, I'll probably get postponed. But hopefully, Carlos gets to watch Leon in person. So definitely check out some content there. But yeah, guys. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this Monday Night Football. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll definitely see you next time on another episode of the Lions Den Podcast.